What's going on, everybody? Let's get into it. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the next episode here of Suburban Paranormal. Again, as always, I'm going to apologize for being a little bit late on this week's episode. Me and my wife are actually, thankfully, hopefully, will be buying a house soon. So it's been a bit hectic trying to get all of that kind of paperwork done and things like that. So if anybody's purchased a house, well, you probably know what the hell I'm talking about. But anyway, guys, don't forget, as always, check us out over at Cinescape Media. We got myself, we got Harvey still doing some shows, and everybody's a little hiatus right now, but that's all right. But we're gonna go ahead. Let's just get into our stuff. Let's get into our show, because that's what we're here for, right? We don't need to hear about that. Anyway, so there really isn't much news, which is another reason I haven't been doing much. And I don't know if it's just a slow year, people aren't putting much out, but I've been digging for content. And it's been a little tough, but like I said, there's a couple news articles here, and I wanted to share them at least with you guys and keep moving. But so the first one, I found this one actually pretty cool, and I obviously had applied for this, but there have been, there's a company, there's this company right now, Magellan TV, that is actually looking to pay somebody $2,400 to sit and watch paranormal documentaries for 24 hours. I don't care what day of the week this is. I'm sorry. I know nobody at my work really listens to this, but I will take an entire day off to do this because that $2,400 is a lot more than what I would make that day anyway. I love my job, but I like this more. So, if anybody is interested, it is on Magellan TV. If you go to the unexplainedmysteries.com website that we find a lot of our stories on, pretty much most of the stories, there is a link on here. The list the couple shows that are going to be available to watch. Basically, it's $100 an hour, $2,400 for the full 24 hours. You will watch a selection of shows. Apparently, My Mom Talks to Aliens, Confessions of an Alien Abductee, Boogeyman, Monsters Amongst Us, and Weird or What with William Shatner. So, sounds like a lot of cool stuff that are coming that you're allowed to watch. And you gotta watch it for 24 hours straight, so I'm curious how they're actually going to do that. But I thought it was pretty cool. I thought I'd share it with everybody. So that's all I have actually for paranormal news. Just to talk, the recent episodes that have come out for Kindred Spirits been pretty good. They're still Discovery Plus, so I have my ways of getting them. So I've been watching them; they've been pretty good. Same as the other Ghost Adventures is doing their thing. Nothing has been, I guess nothing's been very exciting, at least to me personally. Maybe I'm just, I like I said, I've been extremely busy, so maybe that's just a little bit of that wearing in there, but nothing has been too exciting lately, at least that I've seen. And I mean, it's a shame. You figure Octobers are, quote unquote, I say ours and everybody, like us paranormal people, it's our big month. So why am I not seeing a ton of stuff that I'm so used to seeing all the time? It's crazy. But anyway, go check it out. Hopefully, if I'm not picked, hopefully one of my listeners is picked. And if you could, tell us all about it. I mean, it should be great. It would be really cool. So the next thing, I found this interesting. Jane Goodall. She's not going to rule out the existence of Bigfoot. If you don't know who Jane Goodall is, she is the world's foremost person on chimpanzees. This lady, she's 87 years old. I mean, I remember hearing this girl's name in high school. middle school. She's been around forever talking about monkeys and things like that. So she's a big name. So to have her say this is actually it's pretty interesting. You kind of, when you're a public figure and you mention anything, UFOs, Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, you talk about any of these kind of things, and you have a very, very high chance of someone just starting to make fun of you. You have that chance of losing credibility. But then again, is her and others, like, it's kind of one of those things, like, where is that level of being famous or that celebrity status? Like, what is it? Like, what's that line where you can get away with saying something like that and not being just all of a sudden considered a complete joke? Now, because an example, B.O.B., he came out as a flat earther, and all of a sudden all these freaking dumb kids, the Earth's flat. No, it's not. But he was at that level, like, he was there, where people just all of a sudden wanted to blindly believe into this flat Earth theory. You know what I mean? Like, so has Jane Goodall reached that kind of celebrity status? What do you think? I do, but then again, I believe in Bigfoot. I think it's crazy to think that there's not a Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti, something like that. I mean, there's deep, dense forests that I'm pretty sure we haven't explored yet. There's things out there. Like, the world's freaking huge. It's a big globe. Sorry. But anyway, I found this to be really interesting. She definitely, I think, has that kind of pull with how long she's been around, and is to say that Bigfoot could possibly be real. I found that really cool. And that's really all I saw out there for cryptozoology since the last time. This is really the only thing that's been out there. So, on to UFOs. UFOs, stories haven't really died down too much, but I thought this was interesting. This is something that came out a couple days ago, but there is a National Press Club event coming up where 4 former U.S. Air Force officers, a nuclear missile crew, they are going to discuss their involvement in UFO incidents. And I want to cover this. If this is actually, depending on the time, I know October 19th is like a Wednesday or something, right? No, it's 3 days from now. I'm sorry, what's today? The 19th, it's a Tuesday. So if I can, I might actually try and go live and cover the event, and maybe we could talk about it as it's going on. If you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments below. I know it's only a couple days notice, but if anybody would be around to actually do that and watch it live with me, let me know. I'll definitely go ahead and set it up, or perhaps I'll just go ahead and do it. And if you're subscribed on YouTube, like you should be, you get that notification. Just make sure you hit the bell, obviously, so that once I go live, you will be able to hear. So, again, I thought this was cool, and if you didn't notice, actually, the name of the article actually says UFOs are tampering with our nukes. So, it begs the question, are we talking about aliens? Or are we talking foreign countries at this point? Because, again, UFO does not automatically mean alien, right? UFO, it just means it's an unidentified flying object. Now, I noticed a lot of people recently have kind of pulled at that string a little bit, where it's like, oh, I definitely do believe in UFOs. No, I don't believe in aliens. Or maybe they do, and they think they're slick just saying half, and I mean, that's a whole human psychology type thing, right? We don't do that here. But anyway, again, if I can find out more when this is going to happen, I'll try and go live, and we'll talk and discuss it. It'd be pretty cool. But the last bit of news I found, and this is pretty cool too, Dave Grohl. Now, as you know, we covered Foo Fighters before. When they recorded one of their albums, they actually had come out and mentioned that they were hearing things, mics were turning on, they were having all sorts of different paranormal experiences paranormal experiences occurring to them, right, during their recording of that album. So that's pretty cool. So now you have him coming out. Not only does he believe in hauntings, now he's coming out talking about he's a total UFO nerd. So apparently they actually put up a video here from 1995 where he talks about UFOs. I'm not going to play YouTube come after me with a band hammer and all that crap. We're not dealing with it. But the video is pretty good. You can go listen to it. I did watch it. So if you haven't watched it, give it a quick listen or quick watch, you know what I mean. But he is a huge UFO nerd. I thought that was cool. And again, Dave Grohl himself, I also believe, has probably reached that celebrity status of they can get away with saying this, not lose fans, but maybe bring people to the subject and be a little more open-minded. Like he said, he's actually been doing this for God knows how long. And he's been into it. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I guess the last thing, I was curious if we should maybe start another hashtag thing. We tried to hashtag Elon there for a little bit. Nothing happened. But Elon, I know you probably aren't listening. But if this somehow gets to you, I would love for you to invest in some better video equipment and have someone such as myself, who is a true believer, who's not in this for the money, but would need the money to get the better equipment to try and go on these UFO hunts, Yeti hunts, any kind of hunt that you would be interested, even if we disprove it. I will 100% right now say it. I could 100% believe in this. But if I'm getting 100% proven wrong on something, I will change my mind. It'll take a lot, because it'll be hard to get concrete evidence saying that this stuff isn't real. But again, if you're interested, let's know. We'll talk, right? But anyway, lastly, I wanted to bring this up. I didn't have this up. William Shatner has finally gone to space. I want to know if he saw anything. We need to tag William Shatner and bombard his Twitter and Facebook and ask if he found anything out there. I would believe he'd be one of those people that if he saw something, he's talking. He was in those shows, right? Like, come on, give us something, because that would be just amazing if he sees something just because of his background, just being who he is. I mean, it's William Shatner, for Christ's sake. I thought that would be really freaking cool, right? So, anyway, jump back here. That, like I said, is pretty much the news, and I know it's kind of short here, but I mean, I can't just make things up. I'm not that kind of person. I present to you what I found. And like I said before, if anybody has seen more sites like this, Unexplained History, that other website we checked for a couple weeks there hasn't been updated in, it's since the last time we looked. It still hasn't been updated, but I mean, it is what it is. I double check. I don't think I saved anything recently to a Facebook post, but anyway, guys, I don't even have a topic to discuss. No, actually, so I guess to get back on the train of the celebrity status, how big do you think you have to be in order to get away with saying this kind of stuff and having people believe you. Do you believe, is there like a celebrity that you think if we had backing us that hasn't possibly been labeled as batshit crazy already? Like, who do you think we could get on our side? Like, not people that have gained popularity from being a paranormal person, right? Like you know, Jason and Grant and all them, and Zach, Aaron. Those people gained their notoriety from the field, right? You have people that are going to say they did it just to be famous and they really don't believe, which I think they all do. I really do. And you've seen some guests go on their show. Meatloaf being a big one for the Ghost Hunters, or, you know, their new Ghost Nation. He's a big enough star that he kind of appeals to an older generation, but I don't think they're really an older generation. I don't think has much in them in the way of being convinced otherwise, right? Maybe. I mean, you can't say that about everybody, but I'm curious if who people might think is so big that if they came out and said it, it might bring, I guess, a credibility to this, or maybe more people start looking at this in a bigger light. And it could be with anything. I'm talking Bigfoot, I'm talking UFOs, I'm talking, you know, Nessie, I'm talking ghosts, whatever. Hopefully this COVID bullshit's over soon too. There's a lot of stuff that, you know, originally we were supposed to be a web show and we were going to do different stories and things like that, and this thing just kind of veered completely the other way due to COVID. And, you know, we've been doing pretty well. I mean, we've got plenty of you listeners around, and I, you know, as always, thank you. I appreciate everybody that actually tunes in and listens to me rant and show some news. And, you know, I don't hear from a lot of you guys, and that's fine. I understand some people may or may not. Some people might just be listening to this just for the hell of it, and that's, hey, that's fine. You guys want to do that? But if there's people that, like I said, I've mentioned this before, and we'll close out on this. If you have a story you want to talk about or share, and it could help you, I'm always available. You can reach me on suburbanparanormal@gmail.com. You can find me on the Facebook page, the Twitter page. You know, I have all the social media outlets out there available so that everybody has a means to connect if they'd like. And if you want to share your story on the podcast, we can definitely do that as well. We can do a video. You have evidence you caught and you want to share it, we'll do a whole, you know, evidence sharing podcast and have multiple people on. You know, we can do a roundtable discussion. Like this podcast, we can do whatever we want. You know, I'm a computer nerd. I got all sorts of stuff to make this stuff work. I mean, you can see I got a 16. We can do the stuff we want to do. So I'll end it on that note. As always, guys, I appreciate you for watching, keeping tuned. We'll get back on a normal schedule. Hopefully, like I said, we'll be purchasing a house soon where this whole background's going to change, and we're going to hopefully have a nice office studio area for me to produce these and my wife to do some things and for me to work from home. So, one last time, thank you all for tuning in. Please subscribe to us on YouTube to help us out there, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.